Hello everyone, and welcome to Consulting First, the channel where real stories meet powerful emotions. Today I'm sharing this story titled A Second Bloom, a tale about second chances, grief, and life-changing encounters. So I finished my latest novel, which I'm really proud of. It's called A Second Bloom. It's about second chances. Taking risks, following your dreams, healing from grief, and finding love in unexpected ways. If you like my style of storytelling, you're gonna love this book. You can pre-order it right now on my website or anywhere books are sold. I'd love to share an exclusive excerpt with you, so here we go. Chapter 1, The Kitchen Table. Soft morning light filters through tall windows. The house is tastefully old-fashioned, filled with books and memories. Richard sits at the kitchen table, sipping coffee, staring out the window. There's a knock on the door. "Richard, come in." The door opens. Sophie enters wearing her uniform, carrying her cleaning bag. She smiles gently. "Sophie, good morning, Mr. Harper." "Richard, morning, Sophie." She begins to clean the living room. He watches her for a moment, then speaks without looking away. "Richard, you don't have to call me Mr. Harper anymore. It's been 2 years. "Sophie, okay, Richard." He nods, but doesn't smile. As the days pass, the routine continues. Richard spends his days writing in his study, reading, or walking in the garden. Sophie arrives each morning, bringing with her fresh flowers from her garden, filling the house with their fragrance. She cleans, tidies, and dusts, all the while chatting about her day or singing along to the radio. Richard listens, occasionally offering a comment or a smile. He watches her out of the corner of his eye, noting her gentle humming. The way she straightens her glasses, pushes back her chestnut hair, or runs her fingers along a countertop. One afternoon, as Sophie is dusting the piano, he finally breaks the silence. "Richard, did Clara ever tell you stories?" "Sophie, yes. She used to tell me about your first date, how you took her to a poetry reading instead of dinner." "Oh, Richard, that sounds like her." He looks at an old photo of Clara on the mantle. Two people in their early 20s gaze back at him with bright smiles. "Richard, I still talk to her sometimes." Aloud. "I know it sounds strange." "Sophie, it doesn't sound strange. Grief has its own language." He looks at her, surprised by her wisdom. "Richard, how old are you, Sophie?" "Sophie, 24. He considers that. "Richard, I wish I could remember the words to that song you were playing yesterday." "What was it?" "By Ella Fitzgerald." "Sophie, how high the moon." "Want to dance?" He hesitates, surprised by her boldness, and grins. "Richard, sure, why not?" And so they dance in the living room, twirling around furniture, laughing. Richard, despite his initial awkwardness, finds himself enjoying the moment. He feels alive. Their connection deepens, and the line between employer and employee blurs. They share meals, books, and quiet evenings by the fire. Sophie brings her guitar, and they listen to her play folk songs. Richard shares stories about his travels and his work, even starts reading poetry to her. Sophie listens attentively, her eyes shining with admiration. They talk about their dreams and fears, their hopes for the future. Richard finds himself opening up to Sophie in ways he never expected. One rainy afternoon, curled up on the sofa with a book, Sophie asks softly, "Why did you stay?" Richard understands she's referring to Clara. "Richard, why did I stay? I guess I never wanted this house to be just a house. I wanted it to be a home. And you were already making it a home." He looks at her, realizing how much she has brought sunshine back into his life. He sees the kindness in her eyes, the strength in her gentle hands, the patience in her quiet demeanor. "Sophie, you didn't have to stay because of me." "Richard, because of you, I was able to grieve, to heal, and I'm grateful for that." Sophie looks away, touched by his words. "Sophie, I never thought I'd be good at this job. Richard, you were perfect for it, and for me." Their eyes meet. Richard feels his heart skip a beat. Could this feeling be more than friendship? Could there be something brewing between them? Sophie, too, feels a flutter in her chest. But their moment is broken by the sudden crash of thunder. Kitchen a week later, Richard is reading the newspaper. The kettle whistles as Sophie prepares tea. The silence between them is comfortable now. "Richard, why did you stay?" "After she passed, I mean. Sophie, because this house was full of love. Even when you stopped noticing it, I could feel it. And I didn't want that to disappear." He sets down the paper, touched. "Richard, thank you. Sophie smiles, pouring tea. She watches him, a blush on her cheeks. Sophie, do you ever think about the day after tomorrow? Richard, the day after tomorrow? What do you mean, Sophie? I mean, where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? Richard, I haven't given it much thought. Sophie, me neither. She takes a sip of tea. Sophie, maybe we should? Ext. Backyard sunset, Richard hands Sophie a letter tied with a faded ribbon. They sit under a tree as twilight settles around them. The air is crisp, the sky painted with hues of orange and purple. Richard, this is one of Clara's last letters to me. Would you read it? Aloud, Sophie, are you sure? Richard, of course. She opens the letter, smoothing out the wrinkles. Sophie, Richard, my love, if I leave before you wand, I know I hope you find happiness again. Not because I'm not enough, but because you deserve joy. Don't hide in the past. Let life come to you. Let someone else love you. Promise me. A long pause. Richard wipes a tear. Sophie puts the letter down gently. Sophie, she loved you very much. Richard, and she would have loved you too. You remind me of her. Not in looks, but in spirit, kindness, strength, patience. She looks away, moved. Living room night. The glow of the television casts a warm light on their faces. They watch an old black and white film together. Sophie, I used to watch this with Clara all the time. Richard, why do we keep watching it then? Sophie, maybe some stories are worth repeating. He leans back, watching her more than the movie. Richard, or maybe we just like how they make us feel. Sophie turns to him, her cheeks flushed. Sophie, did Clara like this movie? Richard, very much. She said it made her feel like anything was possible. Sophie, I think we're alike in many ways. Richard, in what ways? Sophie, we both love this movie. We both love poetry. Both have a weakness for stray animals. She pauses, meeting his gaze. Sophie, I think we both deserve to be happy. He reaches out, taking her hand. His touch sends shivers down her spine. Richard, so you re-saying that a widower and a young woman who's never been in love could have something in common? Sophie, I'm saying we could have each other? He squeezes her hand. Richard, that's the most honest thing you've said all day. And with that, they share a tender kiss. First hesitant, then full of emotion. When they pull away, Richard rests his forehead against hers. Richard, I don't know if I remember how to do this. Sophie, we'll learn together. And so they begin to navigate the complexities of love, fear, and loss, all while finding solace in each other's company. Richard learns to embrace life again, to laugh and dance and dream. Sophie helps him open his heart to the possibility of new love, reminding him that it's okay to let go of the past and move forward. As the seasons change and the leaves turn golden brown, their bond deepens. They explore the countryside, holding hands, sharing secrets, and making plans for the future. Richard realizes that he's fallen in love with Sophie, not in spite of her youth, but because of it. Her energy and enthusiasm are contagious. Her optimism gives him hope that there's still beauty and joy to be found in life. For Sophie, Richard is a steady presence, a wise and caring companion. She admires his strength and resilience, as well as his kindness and compassion. He shows her that love can endure even in the face of grief, and that it's possible to find happiness again, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Together they create a life filled with love, laughter, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. That's where we'll pick up in part 2. And now I'd like to hear from you. What do you think happens next? What advice would you give to Richard or Sophie? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to pre-order A Second Bloom on my website. It comes out in September. Until then, keep reading, and I'll see you next time.